Imagine yourself facing forward, repeatedly bending your knees, and then jumping as you extend your arms, pushing upward at a 45-degree angle. This might seem to be a pointless exercise until you're handed a basketball and learn that this motion prepares you to make foul shots and earn your team points. Or imagine yourself viewing a screen on which a woman has tears streaming down her face. You would likely wonder why she is crying. Are her tears from the loss of someone? Are they tears of joy or relief? Is she in physical pain? Until you see the full situation that explains her tears, you do not understand the reason for them. As these examples show, a person's limited knowledge prevents one from fully understanding how a single aspect of the situation functions within the framework of the scene. Likewise, learning vocabulary words outside of the context in which they are used prevents a person from fully understanding how the word functions within the framework of our language. To best understand a word, knowing its context or circumstances is key. When determining the meaning of an unfamiliar word, it is often helpful to see the word used in a sentence and to find clues within the sentence that suggest the word's meaning. For example, consider this sentence. The radiance of the electric light display almost blinded the audience. To determine the meaning of the word radiance, one can identify other words such as electric, light, and blinded as clues. Considering the word's part of speech, a noun, also helps to determine meaning. Avid reading is probably one of the larger determinants of vocabulary success. The more often you see a word in context, the more likely the word will find its way into your internal lexicon. Based on the context of this sentence, can you determine the meaning of lexicon? If you thought dictionary or word list, that is correct. As people build up their vocabulary banks, they will encounter many unknown words. So to help make those meanings stick, there are some key methods for successful comprehension and retention. A crucial tactic in effectively learning vocabulary is finding a personal, relevant connection to words. When people can make a clear link between a word's definition and something familiar to themselves, they will be able to remember and use the word more readily. Take the word ambivalent. It means undecided or unsure. To remember this meaning, you could connect the first syllable to another word with the same first syllable, like Amherst, Massachusetts. Making the connection that your friend was ambivalent about accepting a job in Amherst would help you recall the word even when it was used in a different context. In a language arts class, relating a word to a book or other piece of writing, especially one that is fresh in mind, is also helpful. If you had to provide the definition of supercilious, it may be difficult to accurately retrieve the exact meaning. However, if the word was connected to a specific character that embodied the definition, it would be much easier to explain it. Considering Shakespeare's character of King Macbeth, a reader could connect the superior attitude of Macbeth, thinking himself above defeat, to remember that supercilious means pompous and arrogant. The more ways in which we are presented with information, the greater the likelihood of us grasping the information. Performing a variety of strategies reaches various styles of learners while also providing necessary reinforcement. Here are some effective vocabulary learning techniques. Be your own dictionary. Instead of getting lost in the formal language of the Merriam-Webster text, rephrase the word's definition in your own words. Tap into prior knowledge. Connect the word's meaning to a personal experience or a synonym that is already familiar. Represent the word with a picture. Showing a visual representation of the word helps visual learners grasp a definition and actively engages those trying to commit the meaning to memory. Make a list or chart of examples and non-examples. For instance, an example of the word disconcerted might be forgetting the music while playing in a piano recital, while a non-example might be hitting every note perfectly while performing in concert. Make vocabulary learning a collective effort. Whether it is by conversing with peers, by playing a game, or by sharing examples, use the word with others. Discussions and presentations of word meanings as they are relevant in various contexts reinforce comprehension. The more you hear a word being used correctly, the more you will understand it and be more likely to use it yourself. To be the best reader, speaker, writer, analyst, instructor, test taker, or conversationalist that you can be, embrace the power of words by increasing and understanding vocabulary. You can do this by making your own relevant connections to a word, which will give that word an appropriate context. Whether it is by rephrasing a definition in your own words, representing it through pictures and examples, relating it to something familiar, using it in social situations, or a combination of methods, you can take charge of your own learning so that you're more likely to remember and use the correct word in just the right context.